Okay, so in studying this unit of work, we're really looking at access and equity, or access to sport and equity within sport in the Australian sporting context. And in order to analyse those sorts of elements of sport, we often use Figueroa's framework. But before we can really delve into the elements of Figueroa's framework, we really need to understand what sociology is. So this video is simply focusing on sociology and sociocultural factors. So basically, sociology is a scientific study of how human society and culture is developed, organised and maintained. Okay, so basically how people come to organise themselves in groups, how they function as a society, and then their cultural beliefs, attitudes, all those sorts of aspects. And we're looking at that in the context of sport. So in order to analyse sports sociology, we look at things like social construct, cultural norms and how they influence, say, participation rates in particular of sport here in Australia. So for example, we know that in Australia more men play rugby than women. So it might be examining why that is. Is it an equity issue? Is it that it's not available to women? Is it a cultural thing? Is it that rugby is considered a macho sport and females shouldn't be doing macho sports? Or basically what's behind the reasoning for the difference in participation? And same goes in netball. So obviously netball is open to both men and women, however there are greater female participation rates than men. So why is that? We use Figueroa's framework to analyse many different social aspects of sport, and they can include things like issues of drugs, violence, racism, marketing, sexploitation. But in this particular unit of work, we are particularly focusing on how those things influence access and equity to a particular sport. So what you need to do now is go away, look at a few sources, find your own definition of sociology, and find some relevant, so formulate your own, find some relevant and reliable definitions of sociology, and make sure you store them away ready for your assessment item. Thanks guys.